EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. And it comes your way next on Madden Football.
From a venue that's been sold out since it opened back in 2002, there's a look at the home of the Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. Happy to be with you. And, CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
The veteran Joey Sly ready to get this started. Glad to have you with us, folks. And we are underway here at Gillette Stadium. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. To the right side, into the hands of Flowers. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender. What do you
mean by that?
He made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
They go play action now. Jackson slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Yeah, you only get a 1-yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out. In motion left goes a tight end. Jackson now. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Here's Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And Andrews going to have a Ravens first down as he'll get this across the 50 to the 49.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he'll go right back to Andrews. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up second down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, but sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 7 yards there and a first down. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd and 6. Throwing is Jackson. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll go down at the 28. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
They'll try and run for it with Hill. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down. He'll run straight ahead with Hill. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. 3rd and goal, Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Ravens are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, CD, that was a well-orchestrated drive by Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and how about the way he capped it off, too? Orchestrate the drive and then let everybody know exactly who the guy is on the field you've got to watch on every play. Finishes it off with a touchdown run.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So out come the Patriots here to get their first shot on offense. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
We knew about the great mind coming out of Duke, and we saw the athletic ability and the potential. Watching it all come together and get better with each passing year, that's been fun. He can throw it deep, throw it short, and, of course, take off out of the pocket and beat you with his legs as well.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Now Jones. This one to Bourne, and he's got it. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Throwing, Jones. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. So the pass goes out of bounds, but he was not outside of the tackle box when he threw that. He's got to be careful.
You and I both know if it's even close, they're going to give it to the quarterback. They don't want to throw that flag unnecessarily. So if you're just in the area, you're going to be okay.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Henry's got it out on the left side. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. The defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Jones. That is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Operating from the gun, Jones. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Kendrick Bourne from a yard out. And the Patriots respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Partner, are they going to cover him? That's 4 catches and the touchdown grab on that opening drive.
Well, what we're seeing so far, I believe, is their understanding that they want to go to him and often, but also they know they've got to move him around a little bit, get him into some different spots to continue to find open space to throw him the football. Otherwise, I just run 2 or 3 guys at him. They're doing a nice job of finding his way open, scheming him, as they like to say.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and we are tied at 7. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays.
And it was Kendrick Bourne who was able to cap things off with a touchdown.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Unable to corral him. He fights through.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Jackson, options out left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Hill.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
Take this one down to the 36. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. They go play action with Jackson.
That one into the hands of Flowers.
Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. Tucker's kick is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. From the 35 on second down, Jones. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Normally, you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Back to throw. Jones. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Back to throw again. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go over the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So on 4th down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. Deontay Hardy deep for Baltimore.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds. And they'll spot it right at the 20.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Now it's Jackson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. A handoff running left. It's Hill. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Partner, there's no doubt in my mind the defense has to be excited. They should be excited after what they've done recently here. But guess what? My old coaches always used to say, when you're having that kind of success, be careful. Play your keys, play your techniques. Watch out for something coming at you.
Good job defending the run. Probably going to have to defend the pass here. And this pass broken up. And the contact well-timed there. And now 4th down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. And deep to return it is Marcus Jones. Pulled in at the 24. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Patriots take over. New England's offense set to go. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Throwing on 2nd down. Jones. Short pass caught by Henry. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw. Jones. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Bryce Behringer on now to punt. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They start the drive on the ground with Hill. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chatter right now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Now 2nd and 5. Now Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he's going to be brought down right there after the catch at the 34. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Jackson. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Short pass caught by Henry. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll come up now 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Jones. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Bryce Behringer now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
This guy's proven himself to be one of the best in the NFL. He brings an added dimension to their offense with his ability to read defenses and know when he's able to pull it down and take off and go.
Jackson. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
To throw is Jackson. Forced out to his left. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
Well, another fine run right there for Lamar Jackson, and CD, that one puts him over 100 yards now for the ball game.
And remember when all we talked about were 100-yard games from running backs? That when a quarterback did it was a surprise? With Lamar Jackson, that's part of the package as well. He'll have as many 100-yard games in the season as the top running backs in the league.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
It's really something special when we see a quarterback top 100 yards in one half of football. And if he keeps up this pace in the second half, The NFL record for single-game rushing by a QB is certainly in sight.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Pats at the line ready to go. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. And the Patriots going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Straight ahead, it's Stevenson. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for the first with Stevenson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs. That big guy, oh, he's a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Stevenson now on 1st and 10. Taken down at the 47-yard line. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 8. They run once more with Stevenson. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. Looking to throw. Jones. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That is the big fella, Nnamdi Madubuike, forcing his way in. He comes up with a sack. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush, because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
The Patriots send out their punter. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays.
Here's Jackson to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. From the gun, it's Jackson.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. Just keeping the play alive. The quick feet by Jackson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. 2nd half with the lead. This is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson.
He'll get this to Flowers, left side.
Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. In the 1st half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Play action. Now Jackson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Always important as a defender on 3rd down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the 1st down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
New England trying to get a place on offense.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another 1st down.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Up the middle, here's Stevenson.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Adafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
Here's Jackson.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. Jackson now. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
He filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another 1st down.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
Throwing is Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
To throw again is Jackson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
Here we go on 4th down. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Well-executed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, I know this will surprise you. I've actually done a little bit of reading lately, and all the analytics say that you should go for it more on 4th down. I think someone has referred back to their analytics coach. Maybe he's got a pipeline into the booth because that was a really good play call.
In motion, Aguilar. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. So the scoring dried up here in the 3rd. Nothing that quarter for either side. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson looking left side. Andrews with it complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game. Tucker's kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Patriots ready to get the football back. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Some might say that he's got looked at in and absorbed the contact, but even at his size, that's a tough throw to hold on to, and he was unable to on that attempt.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Patriots 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices,
We see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Third and 2. A give for Stevenson, running right. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Patriots come up empty on fourth down, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. The 20. 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 43 yards. And the Ravens have extended their lead to 15 now here in the fourth. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on fourth down. And now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the fourth quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the first down. And after that, the air just went right out of the balloon. And you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead. So they go with the pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. New England's offense set to go. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around. Now Jones.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
2nd and 10. Throwing Jones. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise them with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Nnamdi Madubuike able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
They set up the screen for Stevenson.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
This one left side caught by Gibson.
And he's brought down. A nice little juke move that preceded it, but not much thereafter. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up fourth down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. The defense has been on the field a long time now, and after a run like that, they've got to feel like they're almost on roller skates and getting pushed backwards on just about every snap.
Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard.
Back to throw. Jones. Touchdown!
Marcus Jones.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Patriots have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
In motion right is Aguilar. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. They run off tackle right with Hill.
Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now a 10th carry for Hill. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And he has the Ravens first down, and it would appear that that's going to be the one to do it. 69 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with that, we say so long from Foxborough.